recording too. Hello everybody, welcome to another Shelfie. I'm Kirsten Luckins, I'm the festival coordinator for Crossing the Tees Book Festival, and I'm here today with Laura Price. Laura is a multilingual journalist who travels the world writing about restaurants, which is nice work if you can get it. She is a proud Yorkshire lass at heart, and she has spent several years in Latin America before settling now in South London with her 2 cats. Her first novel, Single Bold Female, is inspired by her experience of being diagnosed with breast cancer at 29. So she's a former single bold female herself, but as you can see, she has hair now and also a boyfriend. Fantastic. So let me tell you a little bit about the book, and then we will hear an extract from Laura. So it's published by Pan Macmillan, and the story goes, Jessica Jackson has hit all the milestones for turning 30, the career, the loving boyfriend, and a cosy London flat that they share with their cat. But a shock diagnosis of breast cancer turns Jess's world upside down, and her contented life implodes with it. Around her, her friends' lives continue to follow the script, with the big white wedding and the baby scans. With her own future so uncertain, the only thing Jess is sure of is that she's being left behind. But in the midst of it all, she meets Annabelle, the enigmatic 27-year-old with incurable cancer. So while Annabelle may not have long left, she understands much more about living than anyone Jess has ever met, and she's determined to show Jess how to make every day count. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's been described as frank, funny and poignant, a completely unforgettable story of love and friendship. We love friendship. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to now spotlight the lovely Laura, and Laura, you're going to read us an extract from that and tell us where we are in the book.
Yes, so I'm going to do what I like to do, which is to pretend I'm reading from the book whilst actually reading from my phone. So Jess, as we have just learnt in that lovely introduction, has been diagnosed with cancer. And there's a chapter in the book called Shit People Say When You Have Cancer. And it's about all the funny and weird and kind of slightly wrong but well-intentioned things that people say to you when you break the news. So I'm just going to read a bit from when Jess calls her best friend Lauren to tell her the news. I pressed the button to accept the call from Lauren. Jess, oh my God, it's the fucking florist. They've messed up the flowers again. And now Lola's have said it's going to take an extra 2 months to make the bridesmaids dresses in marshmallow. Lauren, I open the cupboard and take down my favourite mug, the one so big Dad joked I could have a bath in it. Look, I know it's not necessarily what you pick for yourself. I can hear her voice trembling on the verge of tears. It's just really important to me that we go with the marshmallow, Lauren. I fill the kettle and drop a tea bag into the mug, remembering the way Mum would always put the milk in first. Jess, I didn't understand how stressful organising a wedding was going to be. It's just so... She's crying now, sniffling into the phone. Lauren, I need to tell you something. The comforting crackle and hiss of the kettle. Please don't argue with me, Jess. It's my wedding. You only get married once. At least, I hope. Lauren. Jess, let me speak. No, let me speak. Fuck's sake, Lauren. I've got cancer. Silence for once. In fact, it's quite possibly the first time Lauren has been speechless since the day that #she said yes. A split second later, there is wailing, sobbing, almost cartoonish. I feel like I'm outside my body, unable to react to her crying. I wait for her to finish, to calm herself down. Are you sure? She says, finally composing herself. Could there have been a mistake with the results? I don't think so. Could you get a second opinion? It's not a mix-up. I hear a snotty sniffle, followed by the uncontrollable sob of a distraught child. But you're so young. You can't have cancer. I know. So soon after your mum. I know. It's not fair. There are sharp intakes of breath between each part of the sentence as she begins to hyperventilate. I know. I need her to see that it's going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I don't know how to console her. Please don't cry. I'm not going to die. And then there is a wail, a painful wolf-like cry that goes right through me. Maybe die wasn't the right choice of word. Hey, 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 I say, every hey an effort to stop her tears. They said they'd caught it. It's possible to treat it. It's going to be fine. Yes, Lauren says, audibly forcing herself to snap out of it, stop crying. I hear a clunk as she puts her mobile down, and then the deafening sound of her blowing her nose way too close to my ear. There's something about her distress that is giving me strength. As long as I can comfort her, I might not fall to pieces. Did they, she fights back the sobs, did they say you're going to lose your hair? I think so. You're going to be bald? Brittany again, that heartbreaking front page image of her looking doe-eyed with her hair half on, half off, like a crazed clown. I guess. For my wedding? I'm about to have chemo to save my life right after I broke up with the guy I love, and she's worried about her wedding. Jess? I'm sure we can find a wig in Marshmallow if that's what you're worried about. And then we're both laughing, Lauren making hysterical hiccuping belly laughs mixed with sniffles of snot. Even though she sometimes says the most ridiculous things, I can feel how much she loves me through the phone, my stupid, blubbering, emotional wreck of a best mate. Get your ass over here, I say, but I can just about speak again. I'll bring gin, she says. I'm just going to skip forward in the same chapter to a little bit where Jess tells her dad. I take a deep breath. Just rip the plaster off. That's what Dad always says. I turn the dial to crank up the heating. It's freezing. Jessie! He always sounds surprised to hear from me. My heart sinks with guilt when I acknowledge how long I've been neglecting him. He doesn't even know about me and Johnny. Dad, I say, my voice already breaking. Love, you okay? He should shout at me for ignoring his calls for weeks and weeks, but he knows within an instant that I'm not okay. You might need to sit down. You're not pregnant, are you, pet? You know what your mother always said about doing things ain't right. Dad, I'm not pregnant. Please sit down, you're stressing me out. I wrap my hands around my empty mug, even though it's gone cold. Right, I'm sat down now on that lovely bench your mother chose. So glad we let her choose it, aren't you? Looks cracking in the springtime. Bloody freezing out here now, mind. Dad, I've got cancer. No response. Dad? Oh, Jessie. I'm sure they've caught it early though. It won't be like with Mum. But I'm already sobbing. Are you sure? Sure as the doctor telling me it's cancer. My voice always goes more northern when I speak to Dad. I'm coming to get you. I'll set off tonight. Dad, honestly, it's fine. Johnny will come to my appointments. Will he? I don't even know if we're still together. But I'm your dad, love. I know, but I need normality. I don't want loads of people in the house. I so badly want him to come. I so badly want him to insist. I'm not loads of people. I know. Just let me wait and hear what the next steps are. You've your mother's stubbornness, Jessie. What type of cancer is it? Invasive ductal carcinoma, they said. That word, invasive, so sinister. I picture the cancer invading my breast. I don't know if it's the same as Gran's. So it's in your breast. Yeah, I'm going to have to learn not to cringe at my father saying the word breast. Will they have to operate? They said I'll have chemo and then surgery, but there's a load more tests first. You'll let me come down for surgery, won't you? And the surgery too. You'll let me come down for chemo, won't you? And the surgery too. Of course, Dad. You never know, love, you might find it's an improvement. I laugh. The boiler is whirring and clicking, the room beginning to warm up. Women are like tea bags, Dad says, putting on Mum's high-pitched London accent. You don't know how strong you are until you're in hot water. Remember that one? I smile, as if I could ever forget my darling Mum and all her wonderful words of wisdom. If only she were here right now.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful extract. Two completely different reactions. Really, really amazing. So the last part of the Shelfie is to find out from you what your recommended reading might be. So grabbing a book from the real or the imaginary shelf that you might have there. What can you recommend as a great book for our listeners?
So I've got so many book recommendations, but I'm actually going to recommend the latest book that I've read, which is At the Table by Claire Powell. which, because my name is Laura Price, appears next to my book in the bookshops, which is just absolutely delightful, because I couldn't wish to share a shelf with anyone better than Claire Powell, who is just the most phenomenal debut author. So At the Table is about the Maguire family, who it's a brother and sister called Nicole and Jamie, and the mum and dad, Linda and Jerry, from Northern Ireland. And Linda and Jerry have this seemingly perfect 30-year marriage, but they're actually breaking up. So they tell their son and daughter, and everything sort of comes crumbling down. But the most wonderful thing about this book is that, well, you heard from me in the introduction that I work with food and restaurants in my day job. And this book is actually set so that every chapter is set at a different meal time. So we see them in lots of London restaurants. We see them eating meals at home, and all these arguments and conversations that come out over different meals. And the food she describes, and the preparation of food, and the conversations that we have over meal times are just absolutely wonderful. And I would recommend it to anyone. So that's At the Table by Claire Powell.
Amazing. That sounds brilliant. What a great structure for a book. Fantastic. Laura, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we will make sure to put the links to your books and Claire's book on our website so that people can follow you and hopefully buy your book. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.